A 5-year-old girl can't fall asleep and ends up sleeping in her parents' bed. An 8-year-old boy has trouble with homework and gets frustrated when he doesn't know the right answers. Are these examples of child anxiety, and are they a problem? Is it something they'll outgrow, or does the child need extra help to cope? The short answer is maybe. In this video, I'll talk about how to recognize when child anxiety has become a problem and the 3 types of childhood anxiety. By the end, you'll be able to turn that maybe into a yes or no, or at least an I'm pretty sure or a probably not. To better understand when anxiety in children is a problem or when it becomes a disorder, it's important to first understand normal anxiety. Anxiety is an emotion. Everyone experiences it. Anxiety is our body's way of saying, hey, something dangerous is happening, do something. Anxiety moves us into action. It keeps us safe from real danger, so it's necessary for survival. For example, if you were camping and saw a bear, without much thinking, you would take action to stay safe. Your brain becomes focused on the danger. Your body prepares to protect you. So your heart beats faster to pump blood to your arms and legs so you can move away. Your digestive system slows to put energy towards staying safe. Your body automatically recognizes the danger signals and works hard to keep you safe. So there are certain fears that are common throughout childhood because of development where this anxiety alarm goes off even more, even when there's no actual danger. Kids usually outgrow these fears as they mature and move on to the next developmental stage. So for babies and toddlers, it's common to have fears about strangers, separating from caregivers, sudden or loud noises, and new or unpredictable things. For preschoolers and kindergartners, fears of pretend things like imaginary characters or monsters or the dark are common, and sometimes separation fears, especially in new situations or with new people. Elementary and middle schoolers tend to be afraid of more real-life situations like current events or performing in front of others, making friends, self-image, and the health of themselves and their friends or family. And then it's common for teenagers to have more generalized worries about relationships or rejection or the future or morality. These different common worries for each stage really map on to what's going on in their brain and their social and emotional development at the time. So anxiety is really on a spectrum. On one end, you have those common fears that pop up during different stages of development, or maybe some fears that last for a couple of weeks after something scary happens, like being afraid of a monster after watching a scary movie. In the middle, and I'll come back to more about this in a minute, you have anxiety that's starting to be a problem or is a problem. It's stuck around for longer, it's starting to get in the way of a kid's or a family's life. And on the far end of the anxiety spectrum, at the most severe end, you have anxiety disorders. So anxiety disorders are excessive and extreme anxiety that leaves someone feeling like they cannot cope. Many areas of life are affected, like school, friends, and family life. Anxiety that's part of a disorder is often out of proportion to the situation and causes a lot of distress. They're persistent and chronic, so in most cases, the level of anxiety has been going on for at least a month, and it's not something that gets better with time or development. By the way, if you found this video helpful so far, let me know by tapping the like button. It'll help it spread to more families who need it. And let me know in the comments what other child anxiety or ADHD videos you'd like to see on my channel. There are 3 common anxiety disorders in children you should know about: separation anxiety, social anxiety, and generalized anxiety. So separation anxiety is extreme worry when separated from loved ones. Kids with separation anxiety have unrealistic fears about the safety of themselves and their caregivers. They worry something bad will happen that will cause permanent separation, like a car accident, kidnapping, or dying. They require a lot of reassurance from parents, and they have a hard time being alone, so they might cry or cling or tantrum in anticipation of being away from their parents. Going to school, having playdates or babysitters, or sleeping alone might be really tough for them. And then there's social anxiety disorder, which is extreme worry in social situations. Kids with social anxiety have intense fears about social or performance situations. So they worry about what others will think of them, being laughed at or embarrassed. They might have trouble writing on the board or reading in front of class. They may have trouble asking their teacher a question or asking for help. Reaching out to friends or joining conversations might be tough. Playing sports or going to a dance or being on stage would probably be difficult because they worry about judgment from others. And then there's generalized anxiety, sometimes called GAD, that's uncontrollable worry about many situations. It can also be unrealistic fears about many things in the future. Perfectionism and needing approval or reassurance are common with generalized anxiety, and physical symptoms like stomach aches, tight muscles, trouble sleeping, and trouble concentrating can also be a part of it. But back to the middle. When do the common fears turn into something that's more of a problem? Something that's not just a phase, but also not quite a disorder. It's when that, hey, something dangerous is happening, do something alarm starts to go off more frequently and consistently over a longer period of time, but there's no real danger. Anxiety might be more of a problem when it's lasted beyond what would be expected during typical development. When it's a problem, meaning something kids aren't just going to outgrow on their own, it'll start to disrupt their daily life and their family's life. It makes things like going to school or meeting new people harder. It begins to take up more time and space. It becomes harder for parents to manage, and what might typically work to help kids feel better isn't working anymore, or parents aren't sure what to do to help kids through it. It gets in the way of what kids need and want to do, and it interferes in some way with the main responsibilities of being a kid, which are to learn, to make friends, and to have fun. When kids have anxiety and have trouble coping with it, it can cause stress for the whole family. If you want to know some specific helpful things to say when a child is anxious, be sure to check out this video next. And if you have more questions, check out my Ask an Expert page for in-depth answers to specific anxiety or ADHD questions. I'll put the link in the description. There you can search and filter by topic or ask something yourself. I'm adding answers all the time. If you haven't yet, be sure to tap the like button and subscribe. See you in the next video.